Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I'm actually back with another tiny house, another installment of the Squish, because I realized I haven't built a tiny home on the island in Windenburg in quite some time, and some of my favorite tiny homes I've ever built have been on this exact lot, actually the mid-nowhere lot. It's the smallest lot on this island. And I've built a variety of things here. I think we've had a modern tiny home, an eclectic tiny home, a bunch of different things. And today I just kind of felt like playing around with some terrain tools. So this one actually ends up being sort of cottagey. I don't know how to explain the vibe I was going for, but I was like, I want whites and browns and string lights. And so that is what I went for. It ends up just being a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom tiny home where the bedroom is up on the top floor as sort of an open loft, I guess. It's not exactly a loft, but it doesn't have like a door to it. It's just at the top of the steps. And I think the inside of this came out so cute. I love the floor plan. I love how the outside came out. So I really hope you will enjoy it as well. If you do like this build and you would like to download it, I will make sure to have it available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag MissGryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. So I definitely had some fun with like some creamy tones and some browns in this build, and I feel like it was the beginning of me getting ready to do my first autumn build, which is something I'm working on right now that I will hopefully be sharing sometime this week, maybe in the next day or two, depending on if I can finish it in time. But it's a little bit of a bigger build and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to just do some more like autumnal builds over the next few weeks, the next couple of months, as we are starting to enter that time of year here in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's my favorite time of year, so very excited about that. I talked about it in my last build, thinking about doing that sometime soon, but being worried it might be too soon, and y'all reassured me that it's fine, let's go, let's do autumn, so I'm really excited about that. But first I wanted to share this, since this is something I have been working on for a while now, and I finally got around to editing this because terrain manipulation is time consuming. But one thing I knew I wanted to use on this lot was some wisteria on the building, as well as some of those new like trellis pieces that we got from high school years that have the vines growing up them. I think they are so pretty. And you can see now I'm going through a bunch of different rocks in debug, trying to figure out which ones would look good here. And I started by grabbing some of these ones from, I believe they are the first ones I placed down, not the ones I'm playing with now. But I think the first ones I grabbed are from Get Together, which is, you know, the world that Windenburg came, or the pack that Windenburg came in, which is the world we're building in. But they weren't working as well. They looked a little bit less realistic, so I didn't end up going with those in the end. Instead, I used these ones, which are from Cats and Dogs. And I'm using a lot of tulle to kind of lower them into the ground to try and disguise the cliff a little bit that I made, so it doesn't look so unrealistic, since all of the lots in The Sims 4 are flat. So having hills and terrain manipulation sometimes looks a little bit awkward and out of place. So I was trying to make it look a little bit less so. So just playing around with that and doing some more landscaping. And overall, I think this ends up being so cute. There's some steps up on to like a higher level for where not only the entrance of the house, but there's some yard space up there as well. And I really wanted this space to feel a little bit overgrown, but not like too drastically. And then here I'm using these string lights that came with the little campers kit. I scaled them up and put them up here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to delete them before I upload this to the gallery, because them being there makes it so your Sims cannot walk under there. No matter how I placed them, how many times I sized them down, anything I did, your Sims could not walk under those, unfortunately. So I was a little bit upset about that because I thought they looked so cute, but I could probably put the toddler lights there instead if I upload it. So maybe I'll do that because I was sad. I just thought they looked so nice there. But anyway, I am working on some more landscaping here and lowering a tree into the ground because I felt like I needed sort of a tall piece of greenery over here. Tucked into this corner, and that tree that I had used worked quite nicely. And you'll see I have a mixture of fences here. I wanted to use this one from Werewolves as it felt like it fit the style of the house and was more of a decorative one. that maybe was original, and to get a little bit more of updated fencing that was put up for safety concerns, I used that more industrial metal fencing, which I thought made a lot more sense there. And I liked combining the two. I think it makes the space look a lot more interesting. Anyway, moving on to the stairs now. And I know this looks like it came together pretty quickly, but I really had no idea how to place the stairs. And it actually took me a long time to figure out the floor plan too, which it's just a couple of rooms. It's very simple, but at first I was really confused because I was seeing how it could come together as an open floor plan, but I didn't want it to be an open floor plan. I really wanted it to be more closed off, have small rooms like a little cottage. So I wasn't sure how that was going to come together, especially because the room the staircase is in, I was like, this feels like it's just a waste of space. What am I going to do with this? But it ended up working really nicely because that room actually ends up being an office space. So your sim does have a computer to use, which I was really, really happy about. And then in here, this is where the kitchen ends up being, and I think it is so pretty. I don't often have this big of a kitchen in a tiny home, and I know it is still a very small kitchen, but I was really, really happy with this. I feel like it's pretty spacious for tiny homes for me anyway. So I will be decorating that a little bit later. I just wanted to sort of plan out where things were going to go, and then we're starting here in the living room. I thought I was going to use this fluffy rug from City Living, but I didn't end up using that in the end. I'll be swapping it out a little bit later. But just trying to pick out some couches. I was considering using those ones from the Nifty Knitting Pack. I really like them, and hopefully sometime soon I can find a way to use them in a build, but they really just weren't working in here. And so I decided I wanted to go with this base game couch. It's a really comfy one. I think it's an unlockable from one of the careers. It's a little big, but I think it worked nicely. And then, oh my gosh, these curtains. So I combined two different curtains here, and I love how it looks. I was looking for the cats and dogs curtain, the white one that I have there, and I wasn't finding it at first. So I grabbed the high school years one because I've been using it a lot lately. It's probably one of my new favorite curtains. And after I placed it down, I saw the cats and dogs one, and I put them on the window at the same time, and they just sit so perfectly together. I loved combining them, so I did it all over this house, and I think that's going to be something I continue to do because I just think they look like they were made for each other. How it perfectly fits under that top layer of the curtain from Cats and Dogs. It looks so pretty, and I haven't played around with too many of the swatches. I just have like the white and cream that I have going on in here, which I think worked really nicely for the interior of this home, but I was very happy with that discovery. But anyway, over here I am getting some of these framed feathers on the wall, which are like a collection from Cats and Dogs. I used a lot of Cats and Dogs in this build in particular because it's sort of like on the water. That whole pack is based on like being in this like water or ocean side area of Brindleton Bay. And since I'm building on an island in Windenburg, a lot of it made sense. So definitely using a lot of Cats and Dogs in here, and it just comes out so cozy. I'm really, really proud of this one. I like probably the inside and exterior just as much. Usually I have one that I prefer, but I was really proud of this interior as well. Mostly the curtains, to be honest. I just think they were so fun, and I'll definitely be using those more. So anyway, we are moving on into the hallway now, where I'm getting a couple of bookcases that are under the stairs. These are not going to be functional because they're blocked off by a desk. But I made sure to put another bookcase upstairs so your Sims could actually use the bookcases. But these are more to be like a decoration, or like up here that we have built-in bookcases and lots of space down here. But I am getting a desk also from Cats and Dogs and combining it down here as a nice little workspace. And I think it looks really cute in the end, just figuring out what chair I want to use. I changed my mind, and I changed my mind about the colors too. I ended up going with this like beige color and grabbing a chair. Well, I tried a couple different chairs, but I did end up going with one from Cats and Dogs in the end. It just, of course, all matches very nicely. And then got the typewriter, which came with Cottage Living. I just think it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I really love the colors in here, how calming they are, how like neutral they are. And even though this is a bit different from fall, like I had mentioned, I feel like this is just all the warm vibes are really throwing me in that direction, and I can't wait to finish that other build and show it to you. But this is the rug I ended up switching out in the living room. This is one from the Werewolves game pack. Oh my goodness, there are some beautiful items from that game pack that are super versatile because we got 2 versions of the rug that came with that pack. One that's more tattered and looks like it's been destroyed over time, whether that's from werewolves or it's just really old. And then one that's more pristine, which is the one I used in here. And that creamy swatch was just absolutely perfect for this build. But back into the staircase area / office space, I am just adding a couple of things on this little side table. So we have a record player and a plant. And I think we hang something above there as well. Yeah, a painting. And then we're heading on into the kitchen to actually fully decorate that because I do not have anything you need in here yet. So just placing down a stove and a fridge, as well as some upper cabinets. The whole counter cabinet set is from Jungle Adventure. I just thought it was the perfect wood tone that I was looking for. And this window above the sink is just gorgeous. I love the interior of the windows that came with Cottage Living. The exteriors as well, but something about that being right above the sink in the kitchen, I just think looks so like magical or whimsical, or I just thought it looks really pretty. But just getting some more clutter here on the counter. We have some jars, a place for your utensils to go ahead and stir things on the stove. And then I got a couple of more plants in here. They are all from the Blooming Rooms kit. I thought that they went really nicely in this space. And then I think we just got a teapot in here. Yeah, and that should be it for the kitchen. And then back into the hallway to get a painting. And then I realized I forgot the bathroom. So, well, I left space for it, but I forgot to decorate it. So this is the bathroom. It's right off of the living space. It's just got a standing shower, toilet, and sink. A 2x2 bathroom, pretty small. You can make it smaller if you don't mind not having a sink in this space. But I decided I wanted to have a sink because this is not directly next to the kitchen. So I think having a spot to wash your hands is ideal. And it looked nice on the exterior of the build as well, having this little room off to the side. It helped with the roof line. And yeah, that's the bathroom. Pretty simple, nothing too exciting. And we're moving on upstairs. And I knew immediately I wanted to use this bed from Cats and Dogs because I love the 4-poster beds. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the green was a nice pop of color up here as well. You can see I have those layered curtains just like downstairs. And then I thought that this dresser from Cottage Living would look really nice over here as well. I love that we finally have a dresser that has a built-in mirror to it because that's my experience growing up. Everyone in my family, that's kind of what we went for. They were really old dressers too, like hand-me-downs from the family. So for a long time I was like, why do we have only separate mirrors? They're supposed to be attached. And this one is like that. And I just think it's really cozy. Anyway, outside now, just adding a couple more decorations and functional items. I did get a clothing rack, a wash bucket, and a hamper, which I actually put outside because it made the most sense out here. I think it's the first time I ever did that. We have some more planters, got some rocking chairs, and we're going to have a place for your Sims to go ahead and enjoy some food. So we have a picnic bench over here with an umbrella over it. It's kind of towards the side where the water is. I thought that that would be a pretty view from the table so your Sims can enjoy some time outside. But with that, we're heading on into screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun with it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That really does help me out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.